Hey everybody, guess what time it is? It's time for Tips from a Messy Studio with Michael deMeng. And here he is.
Do you want to know what I'm asked more than anything? Where can I get eyes? I need eyes. Where do you get those eyes? Tell me. I need to know. Well, that is by far the most asked question I get. Where do I get eyes? Where can a person like me find eyes like you? Well, it's not as difficult as you might think. Now, a lot of the eyes I get, here's a box of eyes right here. These actually all come from Mexico. You can get various sizes, and these are replacement eyes for saints. These are things that go into little saints, and eventually saints' eyes pop out, boing, and then they need to replace them. So whenever I go to Mexico, which I go to Mexico at least once a year, I go to the religious stores, and I say, hey, ¿tiene ojos? And then they go, sure, there you go. They say it in Spanish. My Spanish is bad, so I sort of throw it out there. So just ask for ojos, and then they'll show you where the eyes are. They're not that expensive, though. You'd be surprised. The small ones are actually about the same cost as the big ones. So they're más fina, so they're more fine. Now, another option, if you're not going to Mexico, because to make it worthwhile, you have to be going to Mexico and know there's a religious supply store. So that may not be the thing to do. Well, another possibility, another place where I found cool eyes are doll hospitals. Now, I was at a doll hospital. I've been in a number all over the place. I was just in one in Portugal a few years back, and I found one in Sydney. And they're pretty cool, and they have a lot of different types of eyes. Some very realistic, some kind of dorky, some kind of animal-y. And that's another possibility. So if you have a doll hospital, they will definitely have eyes. So looking at that, and they'll even have the swivelly kinds, which are kind of cool. Now, another possibility, if you want glass eyes or things that look like glass eyes, there's a place online, Van Dyke's Taxidermy. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's like, oh, but I don't want an alligator eye. Well, you could get an alligator eye. You can get wolf eyes, bear eyes, fish eyes, reptile eyes, all sorts of eyes, which can be kind of cool. And you can get all those types of things. They're not necessarily cheap, but they're not bad either. And they also have a section for doll and mannequin eyes. So you could go, you could get eyes there. They could, they have the cool things. They even have night eyes, the kinds that sort of semi-glow, they're reflective. Those are pretty cool. So Van Dyke's Taxidermy, vandykestaxidermy.com, I believe is what it is. So check them out if you're looking for something that looks a little more realistic. And by the way, I should mention, if you're doing taxidermy eyes, if all you can find are animal eyes, the closest thing that I've come across that looks like a human, but a kind of a creepy human, are wolf eyes. Wolf taxidermy eyes, they're like a yellow. They're almost like devil eyes, right? So wolf taxidermy eyes are pretty cool for if you want to do like a alternate sort of creepy human. Now, a simple way, for those of you who are on a budget, don't fear. There's always another option. You would be surprised how many eyes you can find at the Salvation Army's, Goodwills, thrift stores. You go in the doll section, you buy a crap load of dolls, ceramic or otherwise, and you're going to find a whole bunch of eyes. Now, if you're lucky, you're going to find a bunch of dolls that are really cheap and chewed up and all this other stuff, and you can get them for, for a couple bucks. Well, sometimes the eyes are worth just a couple bucks, but even then, you can still have hands and arms and legs you can do stuff with. As you can see, little buddy boy here, he was a second-hand dolly, and he lost his eye for art.
See you next time.